This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour,
supported by Albertson
and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Here we go. Run Z.
Brought to you by
Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Albertsons, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Bacardi, live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi. And by Mahindra. Find your nearest Mahindra dealer at TexasMahindraDealers.com.
Now, your hosts, Taylor Stern and Brad Sham.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for out on a warm evening at the Omni Frisco. Welcome to all of you listening across the Dallas Cowboys radio network. Welcome to those of you watching whenever you're doing that on DallasCowboys.com, streaming those little black boxes or bringing our pictures to everyone who chooses to click. And it's Victory Monday. The Cowboys won yesterday. Great job. We are delighted to have as our guests this evening the Cowboys starting safeties Xavier Woods and Jeff Heath. Thank you both very much for coming out on your day off. We appreciate that. And Stephen, thank you for bringing the asparagus out from Neighborhood Services here. This is outstanding stuff now. This is a great place to come and meet your Cowboys favorites on Monday evening, and the big screen outside the Ford Center is showing this show right now to all the passersby who some of them never heard of football, but that's okay. They're seeing this. And then the Monday night game will be up there later on. So that is a great deal, and we also want to thank Dak Prescott for having a signing at the store right over there, because I think a few of these people, how many of you, show of hands, how many of you are here because it was so convenient because you were here to see Dak?
No, they're
just
here.
the two.
They're here for
how
Jeff
many
and
of
Xavier.
you? How many of you are here for Jeff and X?
Woo!
Wow! Look at this, and as far as I know, there's only 4 or 5 of you who are related to them. So that is really good. That's really good. We are really happy you're all here. And later in the show, Stephen will it be Stephen? Will you be the man walking amongst you with a microphone so you can ask questions of Jeff and Xavier? And I think the first thing I should ask you is, how close are we to a nickname for the secondary? Because, you know, the linebackers have one, and for crying out loud, the defensive line has one, and a couple of linebackers have demanded membership in both unions, and you know, the guy who's coaching you guys now, not Greg Jackson, the safeties coach, but Coach Richard, helped build what was then known as the Legion of Boom. So, Jeff Heath, you're the senior member of the two. How close are we to a name for the secondary?
You know, I think the best nicknames are given by other people, so I don't think we're going to come up with our own nickname.
No, I didn't ask you to do that. I just said when.
Well, that's not, I don't know then. You got to ask somebody else. Okay. But
by the way, was that shade being thrown at the defensive linemen for coming up with their own nickname?
At the Cowboys?
Yeah. Oh,
did they come up with that? I don't know who came up with that.
Taco
nickname.
did, didn't he?
Taco did. Well, I know they tried to get it patented and trademarked and everything, so they're taking it pretty seriously. They got
have
chains.
A chain, yeah.
Yeah, they dropped a little money on some chains, but I mean, they're playing well, so I think they should stick with that nickname.
What do you think, X?
I definitely think, I mean, it's for the fans to come up with. We're waiting on a good one that they come up with.
Okay, there's the invitation. Xavier Woods has just issued the public tweet them indeed. A nickname for the secondary, and the whole bunch of you is playing really well, and a big part of everything good that happens. Let's go back to yesterday for a minute, because we like to do that on Victory Monday and celebrate the game. So, X, you can have this oh, wait, before I do that, between the two of you, is there one healthy human being between the two of you?
You scared us.
You take parts of each of us and probably put together one healthy player. Yeah, I think so.
X, is your hamstring okay now?
Yeah, it's getting better.
It's getting better. That means it's not okay. It means it's getting better. Anything else that we should know about?
No, not
that we should know about?
Nah.
Anything else that we shouldn't know about?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
Jeffrey?
I'm good. I'm good to go.
Oh, you know.
You scared people yesterday.
No, let me tell you something. Whenever,
you scared me yesterday.
Those of you who don't know too many pro football players, especially on Monday or Tuesday, when you ask them, how are you, and they look at you and smile, as Jeff Heath just did, and say, I'm good. They are lying through their teeth. They can barely move, is what the truth is.
That's a pro tip right there.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
think my mom
It's all
knows that now.
relative.
Say again, X?
I think my mom knows that now.
Yeah?
That's my answer every time. I'm good.
I'm good. And does she doesn't buy it either.
No.
But moms never
At
buy
all.
anything. It's a what were you saying?
It's all relative. So I'm good compared to what I could be.
That's true.
You know,
That's
you
a
could not be
positive
able
outlook.
to play, not be able to practice, all that stuff. So
It's somewhat stunning to me that this is your 6th season
Yeah,
in
me
the
too.
NFL.
Me too.
It
The old
feels
guy.
like you
Stay
just
humble.
got here.
I know.
How hard is it as each year goes by to feel good before Thursday?
It's tough, and I think I think when you're younger, some of the stuff that it takes, some of the stuff that I'm figuring out now, you don't really have to worry about when you're a younger player. You can kind of, you always feel good, and unless you have a real injury, but it doesn't take you as long to recover. But you know, the more practices and training camps and games that you go through, you know, you got to learn what it takes to get ready for the next game. You know, there's always something. So like I was just saying, though, it's all relative. You got to understand that you're never going to go into a game feeling 100%, and that's expected. So you got to find ways to manage around that.
I say all the time, the thing that I like best about doing these shows is that you folks get to see and hear these men as the three-dimensional human beings they are, not just a jersey number and a cage on their head. And so it always amuses me when Jeff just said that it's all relative. So you had a stinger yesterday, right?
Yeah.
You thought you were concerned it might be something more than that, but it was a stinger.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people listening have never had a stinger. What's a stinger?
It's not fun.
It's when you get hit kind of awkwardly, normally in the neck, shoulder area, and you just get, well, it starts out you have no feeling in your arms or your extremities, and then it kind of, you get the feeling back and it stings a little bit, and then, you know, every stinger is different, so sometimes your feeling will come back quickly and strength will come back quickly, and then other times it takes a little longer, and that's kind of what I was going through yesterday, and it didn't come back as fast as I would have liked it to come back, so it was a little scary, but you know, now 24 hours out from that, I feel good.
Stingers before? Have you had stingers before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple,
Oh, yeah.
If
He's
you
a
play,
hard
if
hitter.
you play safety, you're gonna have stingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Axe, have you had stingers?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They act like it's no big
yeah.
deal.
Babe said this, and I told Jeff before, that Babe said this about Kayvon Frazier in week 1 when his shoulder popped out, because it pops out.
Yeah.
His shoulder pops
Oh.
out, and then they pop it back in. And if any of us went to the doctor and said, well, my shoulder, it pops out, and the doctor would say, what do you do for a living? And you'd say, well, I sit at a desk and work at a computer. And the doctor would say, well, you're not going to do that for the next month. And then if you have the same thing, you go to the doctor and he says, what do you do? And you say, well, I'm a football player. Oh, well, you'll play this week.
Yeah,
We'll just
you're
pop
good.
it back in and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Will you have any reservations in practice, or will you maybe do a little bit less when you have a stinger like that?
No, I don't think so. It's kind of it's not always my decision. You kind of let the trainers, the guys who know all, you know, the ins and outs of all those kind of injuries, you let them kind of direct you. But you know, I don't think the second you start having reservations, that's when you know, it just doesn't go well from there. So I think every time you're out there, you have to be full speed. You have to you just have to play like normal.
Okay. That was way more medical than I intended to get.
Dr. Sham
I
over
really
here.
wanted to get to the game. Xavier, that was your first time playing Matthew Stafford, right?
Yep.
Okay. So for some of us, the fact that they scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter was about the least surprising thing in the world. Any of us who have seen the guy play before.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll let Jeff talk a little bit about how you adjust to that in a minute. But so there you are. It's the fourth quarter. You've got this nice lead. But you know all about him. You've watched tape and everything else. What was going through your mind as the fourth quarter kind of got going?
Well, when you get to the NFL, I mean, the game's never over, especially with a great quarterback like Stafford, man. Towards the fourth quarter, he just got rolling, really. He was just throwing the ball in small holes in the defense. They were making great catches. Once they get rolling like that, once a great quarterback and their receivers are great as well. Once they get rolling like that, you just kind of have to just make them drive down the field. We did that on some instances, but towards the end in the fourth quarter, those last 2 drives, we really didn't. And basically, man, the offense just saved us.
Well, there'll be and will be days where you'll save them. That's why it's called a team.
Yeah.
That's okay. But you've played Stafford before.
Yep.
And maybe a couple more times than you'd like. But what are you thinking, having had the experience of facing him when you go into that fourth quarter? Because you kind of know what's coming.
Yeah, there's a few quarterbacks around the league that worry you and anytime they have the ball in their hands, and especially when they're down like that and you know they're going to be throwing. The quarterbacks like that, that's when they thrive. Guys like him and Aaron Rodgers, a couple of other guys like that. But someone like Stafford, X said it. He's got one of the best arms in the league, so he can make any throw. He's confident in his arm, so even if you have the guy covered, he's going to throw it anyways. I think that you saw that a couple times where we had good coverage and he just put it in a perfect spot, and the receivers made plays for him. One of the guys like that, hopefully we have the ball last and we have a chance to win the game, and that's what happened yesterday. And like X said, offense and special teams kind of bailed us out.
Either of you watch much Arena League football?
No.
Not really.
Are you watching it, Brad?
Not now, but I did some Arena League games when the Cowboys had the Desperados. I did some of those games. That's what it was. It's whoever's got the ball last.
Yeah.
And that's how they built the rules. They haven't built them to be friendly to you guys.
No.
Not at all.
And then the rules have never been, since I've been in the league, the rules were not friendly for defensive players, and since then they've only gotten less friendly. But, I'm glad I don't play D-line and have to deal with that new rule. I can just say that that's the rule that I think has been causing the most issues.
You're talking about the roughing the passer.
Correct.
But when we come back from the break, we're going to get into the nuances of the tackling rules and how do you tackle, if anybody knows. I'm not sure anybody knows that any more than what's a catch. But we're going to hear more from Jeff and Xavier and bring them fully to life. Not just 25 and 38. These are human beings we're going to meet and find out about on the Cowboys Hour tonight, brought to you in part by Omni. Next time you travel for an away game, here's how to make the most of it. Stay with Omni Hotels and Resorts. They have 60 premier locations coast to coast with things like world-class spas, championship golf, and great dining. Visit OmniHotels.com to learn more. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Lucchese Bootmaker. Now open at the Star in Frisco. Shop from a variety of world-class handmade cowboy boots, as well as all new signature apparel and accessories. Visit their brand new store today, right over there, right across the street, and experience the tradition that is
Lucchese Bootmaker.
We'll be right back on the Cowboys Hour.
That way. Back. To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
Supported by Albertsons.
And broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Brad Sham and Taylor Stern, and a phenomenal audience here at the Star at the Omni Frisco to see Jeff, Heath, and Xavier Woods, our guests this evening, and we are brought to you in part by Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, Brad was asking about some nicknames for the entire secondary, but I want to ask about individual nicknames. I know yours is Hollywoods, right, Xavier?
My Instagram nickname? Yeah.
Your self-given
His
nickname?
nickname is X.
X?
My nickname, yeah.
X.
My real nickname is X.
And then Jeff's that I really don't know the origin of, but people call you the GOAT. It's just how I know you. It's how I've seen memes made of you. Do you know where that started?
I do not.
Do you
And
like
I don't
that?
think that's my real nickname.
The GOAT?
No, I think X knows my real
Definitely.
nickname.
So this is breaking. The GOAT is not your real
No.
nickname. That's just, I think, some...
That's like a social media, little
Well,
joke,
didn't
I
that
think. I
pop
don't
up,
know.
a couple of years ago when you were the emergency, or was it last year when you were the emergency kicker and you were
yes.
leading the team in interceptions and you were
Yes.
knocking people down and
The big play moments have really given
Yeah.
you that nickname. And
Yeah.
it definitely was around after the Raiders game last year. Do you not like it?
I don't like that nickname.
why?
Because that's not like very unique, and I think there are like real goats that have played safety, and I'm not one of them yet. You know,
Keyword yet.
but I think, and no one calls me that. Like, no one really calls me. None of my friends call me that. None of my coaches or anybody calls me that. So I don't really think it's a good nickname. People call me Heater. That's my nickname on the team.
Heater. Why is that? I mean, obviously the
Heath,
play
it's
on the
short
last
for
name.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I think Coach Marinelli started calling me that. So I don't really. You might have to ask him. I like it though. I think it's got a good ring to it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I could see a good shirt with that one. You know, you got the Hot Boys with the flames, Heater.
But if you leave it up to Marinelli.
When they used to call that was my dad. That was one of my dad's nicknames too. So then I'll
like father, like son.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
right?
here
Yeah, my
tonight.
dad's here.
Heater?
Yeah.
He's
original.
Does
Heater.
your mom ever call him Heater, or are we getting into an area we really don't want to talk about?
Next question.
Next question.
The OG.
Mom just gave me the never mind, move along sign right there.
And then X. Now your X. No one will get confused with the Des Bryant one over here.
I mean, they really call him X though.
No.
They call his nickname was Des.
Right.
I mean, I've been called X my whole life. X and Zay.
Zay.
Yeah. My family, my personal close family calls me Zay. And then once I get to the football realm, everyone calls me X.
And how much do people have difficulty trying to decide whether it's Xavier, like your name, or Xavier, like Xavier Suafilo, the guard who joined the team about 3 weeks ago?
I mean, when someone first meets me, they definitely gonna call me Xavier. I mean, I don't correct them or anything.
See, that was good, but what you just did, you kind of drop it right in the middle between Xavier and Xavier. Just kind of rolled right through it.
I don't correct them, but I call myself Xavier. I think the correct way is Xavier, but we're gonna go with how I say it.
Yeah, we are.
That's my name.
Yeah,
That's what we're gonna go with.
Exactly.
Brad will say that on the radio.
It is X.
Yeah.
Or Xavier Woods.
I'm
Correct. That's
glad
what it
Brad brought up the emergency kicking situation.
Yes, go.
Because yesterday, obviously, the game came down to a kick, and I got to thinking, are you still the emergency backup? Knock on wood.
I think I am.
I feel like Keith O'Quinn's getting mad at me for talking about it.
Yeah. Emergency. Yeah. Hopefully, I think I am, but hopefully, I don't have to do that again.
True.
I think Brett's doing a great job, so we'll let him keep doing that for us, winning games for us.
But you got a big kick out of it. No pun intended. you enjoyed that. Didn't
It
you?
was fun. I think the game being the way it was, I was able to have a little more fun with it, and it's something that I'll be able to look back on. But I'm good with just doing it one time.
The head coach likes to make a big show out of you trying to convince him that you won games as a kicker in high school.
I have witnesses. I have witnesses in the front row here.
Yeah?
Mom and Dad are here.
They tried to pull up a video, but it was like 2008 in Lake Orion, Michigan. There's not much. I think the video is lost. It's in the file somewhere.
Practically before electricity, 2008, for crying out loud.
Right.
Have you ever taken a kick? Have you ever tried to do that, Xavier?
Never. I don't think I could kick a football.
I think you could.
It would go out of bounds.
No one wants that?
No,
He kick an onside kick.
That would be bad for the team.
Ooh, you can onside kick.
I'd probably hit somebody.
Okay. Yeah.
While we're talking about this is a good opportunity to talk about special teams because it's a part of the game that gets overlooked. And for guys who are drafted late or not drafted, they know that it is the ticket to get noticed and get in, right? Xavier, as I recall, you embraced it right away. You knew you were going to have to play special teams.
Oh, yeah, of course. Coming in 6th round, to make this team, you got to play special teams. Coming in 6th round, I wasn't the 1st round, 2nd round pick. So I had to make special teams to even make this team. I was just fortunate enough to be able to play defense while playing special teams. But going in, I definitely was focused on playing special teams and earning my role on this team.
Now, Jeff, I don't know if you know this, but every year in preseason when the head coaches ask questions about how do you decide who plays in preseason games and what things do you look for, and he tells the story of you showing up on the film in Canton in the Hall of Fame game your rookie year, and that's when they said, wait, who is that? Because there's so many guys.
Right.
So what do you remember about that game? Did you know that you were making an indelible impression on your coaches in that game?
I think my mindset going into that game, like X was just saying, being an undrafted player, especially, when you're a DB, you're going to have to be, if you're undrafted and you're a DB, you're going to have to be a, all 4 special teams player, and you're going to have to really stand out in all those phases. So going into the game, I was like, there's one thing I can control. I can't control where the ball comes to me and I'm able to make any tackles, but I know I'm fast, so I can run down as fast as I can, and if nothing else, they can at least notice that I'm one of the first guys down. So that was I was just thinking about running fast. I wasn't even really thinking about anything else, and, luckily it made a good impression.
Were you thinking about where you were going, or did you just want to beat everybody down the field?
I just wanted to run fast in a straight line. But, we were like kicking touchbacks every play anyway, so basically it just became like a 60-yard dash for me on those plays.
And how did you become the personal protector on the punt team? Which sounds like a great kind of an underworld thing. I'm the personal. You should be wearing a black suit and a black shirt.
Right. I'm not actually. Coach Bisaccia, when he was here, he just right away my rookie year he started having me learn the calls, and he just kind of put me into that position, and I was able to kind of get comfortable in it. And we talk about all the time now. Through all the walkthroughs that we do and the practices and the games, the number of reps that I've taken at that spot, and it's a really comfortable spot for me. And I think it's an important spot on the team. So it's a role that I really embrace and I take very seriously.
Mm-hmm. Earlier we were talking about Chris Richard, and X, I've seen in different interviews where you've talked about watching Earl Thomas tape. It's unfortunate he's out now, but you've talked about it like you just know that real recognizes real a little bit with that. It's nothing competitive. It's just.
By the way, that's how she talks all the time.
I'm being real.
Recognizes real. Yeah, that's how Taylor talks all the time.
Yeah, but I liked when you were discussing that because I think people were looking for a bigger story with all of the Earl Thomas news, and you were just saying, no, I just watch him because he's a good player and I want to be at that level.
He's a great player.
Yeah.
I think he's the best safety in this league today. I want to be that, so why not watch him?
Why not?
That's we have the film, we have the coach, we have the guy that coached him. Why not pick his brains and ask, what did Earl think? What did Earl do to be at that level or be better?
What kind of things have you picked up? What did Coach tell you?
He always he shooted perfection. If guys around him didn't want to be great on a day-to-day basis, not just game day at practice, he didn't want to be around them. It's a day-by-day thing with me. I'm not to that level yet. And he's an older guy. I'm still a young guy in this league, so I still have a long ways to go. But just being able to pick Coach Rashad's brain every day, and I'll be a fool not to ask.
That's
those
true.
questions.
I just like that you were so open about that and just honest with it instead of making it seem like, I'm not gonna.
No, man, that guy. I've looked up to that guy since he's been in the league, man. I respect him to the utmost. All that talk, that did nothing for me. I have the most respect for that guy. He's the greatest safety in this game today.
Were you watching tape of him when you were in school?
Oh, yeah. Back in college, high school.
Jeff, you're shaking your head yes, too.
Yeah, that was the same way. Obviously that was a highly discussed topic around training camp, and I gave the same answer every time. Is he's coveted by just about every team, just by how good he's been and his production. So, if I was a coach, I'd want him on my team too. And that's, you just want great players on your team. It makes the team better, and ultimately will make you better. So, like you said, though, it's really unfortunate that, he suffered that injury. But, just knowing from the outside in, knowing him and just watching him, it won't be anything for him. He'll come back better than ever.
Did you have a guy when you were a kid like X watched Earl? Did you have a guy that you looked up to when you were in high school or college?
Yeah. I really, I looked up to all good players. I just really I wouldn't say there was one specific guy, but I just like, good players, good teams. Some guys that come to mind. Charles Woodson. He went to Michigan. So I kind of knew of him when I was younger, and then obviously all the plays he made when he was in the league. He played for Green Bay, so he was always playing the Lions, who was, my team when I was growing up.
I right on. Irony there.
Yeah, and but I wouldn't say there's any one specific guy that I try to like model my game after anything, but I just like watching. I'm a fan of football, so I just like good players.
Okay, all right, we're going to take a break and come back and learn a little bit more about Xavier Woods and Jeff Heath when we continue with the Cowboys Hour at the Omni in Frisco.
And we are here thanks to Jack Black tonight. Want to use what the pros use? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Get your Jack Black Playmaker 4 JB Faves plus a full-size lip balm for just $10 with free shipping at getjackblack.com. Use code Cowboys. We'll be right back.
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour,
Supported by Albertsons.
and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Welcome back, Brad Sham and Taylor Stern. Our special guest tonight, Cowboys starting safeties Xavier Woods and Jeff Heath. We would like to thank the Earth for turning in exactly the direction it does, because now the sun is behind that building.
Yeah.
And it's not in our eyes anymore. So hooray for the Earth. And I would like to let the radio audience know, those of you who are not watching on DallasCowboys.com as the show is streamed, may give you impetus to, that Xavier is wearing a long sleeve white Nike dry fit T-shirt with are your shorts navy?
Yeah.
Navy shorts and white shoes and tennies. And Jeff Heath is wearing a long sleeve white Nike dry fit T-shirt with black shorts and a black baseball
Like
cap.
charcoal.
Charcoal, yeah. So did you guys call each other before you came to check what are you wearing, Axe? I don't know, Jeff. What are you wearing?
All white. We're gonna wear all white. I think this is our daily.
It's our normal attire.
Yeah.
If you were to walk into the Star just about any day, we'd probably be wearing
This.
either
Or some.
a navy blue or a white long sleeve or a hoodie.
Now let me ask you
Routine.
this: because the different head coaches are different. This one likes players and staff, and therefore the rest of us who fly on the charter of the male persuasion to wear coat and tie.
Yeah.
Right, and you guys now, some of you, I don't mean you two necessarily, but feel free to include yourselves. Xavier is looking at me like, what are you fixing to say? I do not like where this is going. Some of you appear to me to spend a little time styling. You want to look good.
X.
You want to look a certain kind of good, getting on that plane and getting off that plane.
You've had some flashy
So
outfits.
I've never wore suits before I got here. I think I had one.
At La
suit
Tech, you
my
didn't
whole-
wear it. You didn't wear it.
Never. Never. So I mean, my first time wearing a suit, I wanted to look nice.
That's cute.
I mean, I wear a suit. I want to look nice. I like Power, the show Power, and Ghost has some great suits. So I try to like model my suit kind of after him, kind of.
You have a style icon, and is it 50 Cent? Who plays that guy?
Omari.
Omari.
And do you put your own outfits together, shirt, tie?
Oh yeah, I'm my own stylist.
You are.
Your
sure,
girlfriend Destiny doesn't help you, because I think she's looking at you like
she just.
she needs the credit.
I'm taking all this credit.
Yeah.
Does-
you may be you take it from someone who's been around the block. You may take all of it now, and that's going to last about 25 more minutes.
Yeah,
and
no,
then you are fixing to be in some serious.
get an earful in the car.
It's not going to wait till the car now. Don't worry about that.
Jeff, does your wife Paige help you out there too? Because I know she is fashionable.
I would honestly, I think she would agree. I'm probably more fashionable out of the two of us.
She's shaking her head. Yes.
Yes. Oh,
But
my.
for my suits, I'm not. Honestly, when we wear suits, we wear like no one really sees us. We go right up to the plane. We go on the plane.
Really don't.
We fall asleep. We get on a bus, drops us right in front of the hotel. We take them off.
The fans who
And
are at
then,
the hotel.
like when we
see
go to
you.
the stadium, we just go under the stadium right into the locker room, and then so no one really sees. So I don't really. I just buy my suits like off the rack, and I'll reuse them a couple weeks. I'll just leave them in my garment bag, and then just for the next trip, because we wear them for about a total of an hour.
This is how I know that Jeff isn't a big social media guy, which I knew already, but the fact that he knows that some of those photos are going to social media, because Xavier, you post those photos sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah,
I mean, if no one is going to see you there physically in person, they will see you on Instagram.
They gotta see this suit. I put some work and time.
Some
putting it
fashionable
together.
looks. Who would you say on the team is the most fashionable? Is it a guy on the defense? I feel like they usually have the shades.
There's a lot of people who think they're the most fashionable.
Name names.
Touche.
Name names.
Call them
Kayvon.
out.
Kayvon?
Kayvon definitely thinks he's the most fashionable. But, he'll do some crazy stuff, like 2 different types of plaid, like a plaid pants with a different plaid jacket. And he's like, no one else does this. I'm like, there's a reason no one else does it.
That's right.
But
That's exactly right.
I think, I would say someone who has good style, I think Dak has pretty good style. He has the bow tie, which is his signature thing.
He's a designer
He's got some
now.
money, so he probably spends a little bit on the suits, nice materials. So, I don't know. He's got some good style.
So Jeff is about to be a father
Yeah.
soon, February.
Let's not
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Big shout out.
let's not make it sound like it's going to happen before the asparagus comes back out.
No, it's February, right?
Yep.
And then you'll really have to start thinking about outfits because you have to dress a little
That's
baby.
going to be fun.
Are you prepping for that, fatherhood?
As much as I can, yeah. I mean,
Reading books?
I haven't read too many books yet. I mean, we're a little busy, not much downtime to be reading, but I don't know. I think if you just
I think you'll be
you just
a
raise them how I
natural.
was raised. I don't know. I think it would be easy.
Well, this is good. This is actually a great segue. Nice work, Taylor. This is a perfect segue to spend a few minutes getting to know a little bit more about both Jeff and Xavier personally. So you talk about be raised how you were raised.
Yeah.
What do you know that you would say that while your mom and dad are sitting here?
He's a good boy.
Such a thing that you would do that. So, what was your favorite sport, and were you a good student?
So my favorite sport, my first favorite sport, I don't know, it's tough. But football obviously was probably my number one, but I also love soccer. And I played soccer for a really long time. I was a good student. I didn't really like school, but I got by. I just did what I needed to do to.
Please understand, with everything you say, I'm looking right at your mother for confirmation.
Yeah,
because
she knows.
they will not lie.
She knows. I did enough to make good grades so I could get into college and continue to play sports. But I don't know.
Was there a time that you wanted to be a professional soccer player?
Yeah, there's. Honestly, I was really close to going the soccer route. Just getting recruited a little more in soccer than I was in football, and
By colleges. By colleges.
by colleges, yeah. And really, when I was not getting recruited at all at any colleges for football at the time, and kind of almost, I almost had my mind made up that I was going to play soccer. But I think, deep down, I knew that I wanted to play football, and if I was going to get an opportunity to play anywhere, I was going to take it. And then, luckily, I got an opportunity from Saginaw Valley, which is a D2 school in Michigan. And so I just, I took that opportunity. It was tough for me because I had to quit my soccer team right in the middle of the year because it was so expensive. And I was like, well, if I'm not going to play college soccer, there's no point, dishing out, having my parents dish out all this money to travel around the country playing soccer. It was that would have been a selfish thing on my part, knowing that it was going to stop after that. So, yeah, and I think I made the right decision.
X, what other sports besides football got your attention?
Basketball. I played football and basketball from 6 up until senior year of high school. It's one of my last basketball game.
West Monroe, right?
Oh yeah. So definitely, basketball was my favorite sport up until high school. I mean, of course, I wanted to be LeBron.
Everyone.
And then I stopped growing. So it's kind of like.
Then did you think maybe I'll be Kobe?
Football route.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
What position did you play in basketball?
Point guard.
Did you just jack it up every time down the floor?
I actually couldn't shoot. I'm more of a layup type of guy.
That may explain why you didn't play basketball anymore.
No, we're gonna go with I stopped growing.
Yes, we are. It's exactly what
It's
we're
not
doing.
talent. It's not talent. It's just the growing. And then you went to Louisiana Tech.
Yep.
Was
Yep.
it neat to be close to home?
I really didn't want to go there at first
Oh.
because it was so close. I wanted to go off, just venture. I mean, I'm from a small town in Louisiana. But then I had the opportunity to where they had lost all their DBs. It was like, you can come in and play right away. and I took that and ran with it.
Good.
And I mean, I'm here now.
See, this is to me so interesting. There's a lot of different paths to playing in the NFL. Louisiana Tech is a terrific school, play some good football, some great basketball, not known as a football factory. Saginaw Valley State, as you said, is a D2 school. Did any Big Ten schools or MAC or any of those recruit you?
No. MAC schools told me, they actually said I was not good enough. I was too slow. I think Central Michigan, one of the coaches at Central Michigan said I was too slow to play there, which is funny to me now. But, I mean, it all works out. I mean, everything happens for a reason, and who knows how it would have worked out had I played somewhere else. But, Saginaw provided me with every opportunity that I could have needed. And, I had some great coaching while I was there, made some of my best friends in the world. So, I mean, I love that that was my route.
I know you're a better person than me, but do you ever feel like you just want to send some, photos or something to these people that said you couldn't do it?
Oh, all the time.
Picture your game ball.
Yeah, I just want to be like, hey, this game I just won, here I am.
Yeah, but, looking back, honestly,
Second contract.
when I was, how old were you when you graduate high school? Like 18?
18.
Yeah, 18. Yeah. When I was 18, I probably wasn't ready to go play at a school like that. I developed really late. I was small. I was really skinny. So I think, going to a smaller school and where I could, just focus on becoming a better player, getting bigger and faster, and it all worked out.
X, did you want to go to LSU or somewhere else in the SEC?
SEC, I didn't want to go to LSU, but I did want an LSU offer.
Did not want to go to LSU.
I did want an LSU offer because with that, I knew what would come with it, more SEC offers. So
where did you want to go?
Georgia.
You wanted to venture.
Georgia's my favorite school, besides Louisiana Tech.
And how did that come to be?
I loved, I had to say it, but Matthew Stafford was there. No Sean Marino.
That's cool.
AJ Green. Those were I was in love with that team. So I've been a Georgia fan most of my life.
Did they ever recruit you?
No.
Did you approach them?
I think I've emailed the coaches that was there probably 10 times in high school. Didn't get anything back.
Got to shoot your shot.
Got to
try.
From half court.
And I love Taylor's question. Did you ever want to send them a little note? The guys who didn't recruit you wouldn't take your calls. Excuse me, I'm in the NFL starting now.
Hi.
No, not them. It's a different college, Indiana, that took another guy over me.
Ooh, I'll find him.
That's where Babe Laufenberg
I know who he is.
Oh, you do?
We know him.
Yeah, I definitely followed him on Instagram, but I'm not going to. Over the course of his 4 years,
we'll post on the Cowboys
do what I
Instagram.
did. But it all worked out. But yeah, I definitely know who he is
and where he lives.
I got it locked and loaded.
How to get there? Yeah, okay. I get the picture. All right, get your questions for Xavier Woods and Jeff Heath ready. We are coming to you when we come back on the Cowboys Hour. The Miller Lite Cowboys Hour from the Omni Frisco is brought to you in part by Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. By Lucchese Bootmaker, now open at the Star in Frisco. Shop from a variety of world-class handmade cowboy boots, as well as all new signature apparel and accessories. Visit their brand new store today and experience the tradition that is
Lucchese Bootmaker.
And next time you travel for an away game, here's how to make the most of it. Stay with Omni Hotels and Resorts. They have 60 premier locations coast to coast with things like world-class spas, championship golf, and great dining. Visit OmniHotels.com to learn more. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys. And we'll be right back with Xavier Woods and Jeff Heath on the Cowboys Hour.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
Supported by Albertsons.
And broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Welcome back to the Cowboys Hour on this Victory Monday, which means when the Cowboys win, get 50% off regular menu price pizzas from Papa John's. And you can get this with the promo code CowboysWin. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Not valid with any other discounts, prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary. So we're back with Jeff Heath and Xavier Woods.
I'm going to bust one of your teammates and let you guys do with whatever you want with this. Has nothing to do with this conversation, but I think it's funny. I got a text from a friend of mine who is not a football fan. She has nothing to do with football at all. She's at this restaurant. She said, thanks to you, I recognized Sean Lee as soon as he walked in the name of the place. And I said, great. And she said, isn't he supposed to be on a strict diet during the season? I can't wait to find out. But that does bring up something that Taylor was asking me about before. So you guys watch what you eat, obviously. But everybody's got a cheat day. Some of us have cheat lives. You guys have a cheat day. X, what's your cheat day meal?
A burger and fries on Fridays. Fridays after we leave from practice, grab me a burger and fry at the training table.
Friday. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your cheat meal?
Yeah.
I really like buffalo wings. I could eat those just about every meal. But honestly, I think I am a little more health conscious during the off season. You know, during the season we practice so much and we play so much that well, for me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but if I eat super clean and healthy, I'll just lose too much weight during the season. So I kind of have to, like X said, his cheat meal's a burger. That's like, I eat burgers probably like 2 or 3 times a week. But, you know, they feed us burgers at the facility. So, I mean, it's like, it can't be that unhealthy. It's just beef.
Don't you wish this was your life? Like, you had to eat.
It's great to be young and a
have to do
cowboy.
this.
That's all I know. It's
All right.
great to be young and a cowboy. All right,
Before
do
we
that.
get to the
and
fan
then, Stephen, where
questions.
you've got some questions, come in a minute, in 1 minute. Go ahead.
We have to know. These guys are movie and show buffs. I know that Jeff watches a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear that I have to know what your favorite show is that it will actually surprise Brad and I. Maybe even Jeff.
Xavier, huh?
Yeah,
For the
Xavier.
radio audience who can't see us.
All right, so my favorite shows is Laguna Beach.
What? I was surprised. Destiny told me I would be.
And
I watched The Hills. I didn't watch
and
Laguna Beach,
Hills.
but I watched The
And the
Hills.
And The Hills is coming back next year.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Now, did you watch Very Cavallari, which had Kristen Cavallari in Nashville? Jay Cutler's wife.
No, I was more of a LC type of guy. I like
Team LC.
I like the Lauren more, so I wasn't big on Cavalier.
You
Kristen,
purposely
really.
didn't watch?
Yeah.
And
So-
you watched The Hills?
Oh, yeah.
So have you seen all of the episodes of those shows?
I haven't seen the last season of The Hills, but other than that, I've seen all of them.
The reason I'm asking is I'm wondering that if you, and then Stephen, I promise we're coming out to, sometimes you just have to get your brain away from football. You just have to. Okay, so we're going to sit down and we're going right to mind junk food, TV junk food. But if you've seen all the episodes of those shows, you just watch them again, or do you try something else?
But they don't really come on anymore. I mean, it has to be like a special.
Box
It usually
set.
come on in the summer around June. It used to, in the morning. That's when it used to come
7:30
on.
a.m.
Really,
No.
for real.
on the channel.
Really, 7:30 to about 9. Get about 3 episodes in. But now I'm more of a Insecure, Power.
Oh, I love Insecure.
The Challenge. That type of guy.
I like it.
And what do you do when it's just time to just
I like movies. I'm more of a movie guy. I don't always have the attention span to like finish a whole show. If I watch an episode and it's boring, I'm like, I just get
you don't
get
have
it
the
over.
attention span to
He
watch
means
a whole
like
show, but
series.
you'll
The
watch.
whole series.
Oh, the whole series.
The whole series.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
If
do you
there's
watch
if there's a
movie?
boring episode,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
kind of
out.
over.
Okay.
But I love movies.
Favorite movie?
I mean, crap. Varsity Blues. That's probably like my first and my first favorite movie, and it's one of those where every time it's on, I have to watch it, no matter, even if something else is on that I want to watch. If Varsity Blues is on, I have to watch it.
Trumps all.
Trumps all, yeah. And I know it's annoying. You can ask Paige. It's annoying to watch it with me because I just say the whole movie. I can just recite the whole movie. But I really like new movies. All the new stuff that comes out. Like I just watched a new Sicario movie.
Oh, wasn't that great?
That
You
was
need
awesome.
to watch
Yeah.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
That is the
haven't
same
seen that one.
director,
Okay.
Taylor Sheridan. He does Yellowstone and Sicario.
Okay.
Highly recommend to all listeners.
Gotta write that one down.
There's a little window into these guys. Stephen, what do we have?
All right, we've gone over food and movies, but Juan's here with a question about your hobbies.
Okay.
Okay, so on your downtime, what do you like to do and what are your hobbies?
Start with me.
Yeah.
On Tuesdays, what comes on Tuesdays? I'm more of the Jersey Shore is Thursdays.
Oh, no. You don't. Oh, no. Come on.
His hobbies is
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore is Thursdays. Wednesdays is the challenge, I think. Tuesdays is VH1 shows, and Madden after that. So.
Yeah, he played the best Madden player in the world this summer at training camp.
How'd you do?
I lost, but he only scored 13 points.
Ooh.
Okay.
You hear that? Defense wins championships.
Yeah, exactly right. And you, hobbies, downtime?
Yeah, during the season, whenever we get downtime, I really just like relaxing at home, hanging out with my wife and my dog, and just kind of being boring. But during the off season, we like traveling. We have a condo in Colorado. So I like going out there, and like going to see family, and really just hanging out and seeing a lot of different places.
Read books about how to put cribs together. That would be a good thing.
It comes with the book. Comes with the directions.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, Larry here with a post-career question.
Okay.
This is for both of you guys. I just retired recently, and I know it's a long time before you all can see that far into the future for you all. What do you plan to do as far as your retirement? Mine is watching you guys play.
Yeah, I love that. All right, we got about a minute left. Jeff, you go first.
You're right. I haven't thought that far into it. I mean, when I retire from football, or when I retire from
From football. Let's go. Let's
when
go.
I retire from football. I don't really know. I want to be involved in football somehow, whether coaching or I just love football, so being involved in the game somehow. But really, I just want to do something that I love, and I might not know what that is yet, but I'll find it.
Actually, you just got started, so we're hardly trying to run you off. But do you think a little bit about when I'm done with this, what would I like to be when I grow up?
It definitely have to be something still in the football field. I just love this game so much. I don't think I could get away from it. I don't really know yet, but it have to be maybe coaching, maybe doing something back in my hometown.
Fortunately, there is a whole lot more football in front of both of you. You're so much fun to watch. Give them a hand, please. Thank Jeff Heath and Xavier Woods for being with us tonight. Taylor Stern. Next week, Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins will be sitting right in those two chairs. We might have to prop those up a little bit more. Thanks for joining us on the Cowboys Hour from the Omni Frisco at the Star, and we'll look for you again next week.